Days before the details emerged, a removal van rattled through the perimeter of the Sandringham estate without incident. No alarms, no questions. The security detail waved it through. Inside, crouched in the dark between moving crates, was Sarah Ferguson, a woman who no longer holds a title, no longer holds a royal residence, and no longer holds any official standing within the House of Windsor. She was not there to collect furniture. This is not a story about an eccentric reunion. It is a story about two people under active investigation, coordinating their movements in secret, on Crown land, in defiance of direct orders from the palace. The Prince and Princess of Wales have been briefed. King Charles has been briefed. And according to those with knowledge of the situation, the institution is now asking a question it cannot answer cleanly. What exactly are they still protecting? To understand how a former duchess ends up hidden in a removal van, it is necessary to begin with what she has already lost. In October 2025, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was stripped of his titles and honors by King Charles. He was evicted from Royal Lodge, a 30-room grace and favor residence on the Windsor estate, and relocated to Wood Farm, a 5-bedroom cottage on the outer edges of Sandringham. Sarah Ferguson, who had lived alongside him at Royal Lodge, despite their 1996 divorce, was simultaneously rendered effectively homeless. No title, no residence, no institutional support. On the morning of the 19th of February, 2026, his 66th birthday, unmarked police vehicles arrived at Sandringham. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The charge relates to allegations that, while serving as the United Kingdom's special envoy for international trade in 2010, he forwarded confidential government documents to Jeffrey Epstein. One email, released as part of the United States Department of Justice Epstein file disclosure, appears to show him transmitting a classified brief on investment opportunities in the reconstruction of Helmand Province, Afghanistan, 5 minutes after receiving it. He was held for 11 hours at Aylsham Police Station in Norfolk. He was released under investigation. He has not been charged. He has not been exonerated. He is the first senior British royal to be arrested in nearly 400 years. King Charles released a statement the same evening. He said the law must take its course. 4 words: no elaboration, no visit, no phone call, according to sources close to the situation. The distance between the two brothers is now, by all accounts, absolute. It is into this landscape, one arrest, one exile, one institution in controlled panic, that Sarah Ferguson has been moving in secret. According to reporting from Closer magazine, she has visited Wood Farm on multiple occasions since Andrew's relocation. On the first occasion, she was transported in the footwell of a car, concealed beneath a blanket, as the vehicle passed through the estate's perimeter. On the second, she arrived inside a removal van, the kind of vehicle that attracts no attention on a working estate. No visitor log, no pre-approved itinerary, no written clearance from the palace. William and Kate were, according to sources, absolutely furious when they found out. The word used internally was not inappropriate. The word used was covert. That distinction matters. Inappropriate implies a lapse in judgment. Covert implies intent. To the Prince and Princess of Wales, the removal van was not the behavior of two estranged ex-spouses seeking comfort in a crisis. It was the behavior of two people who have calculated that the rules no longer apply to them, or who have decided they cannot afford to follow them. The question the palace has been unable to resolve is simple. Why? What compels two individuals who have already lost everything, titles, residences, public roles, institutional protection, to risk fresh exposure through a shadow operation on monitored royal grounds? The answer, according to those close to the situation, lies not in sentiment, but in shared liability. The Epstein files did not spare Sarah Ferguson. Emails released by the United States Department of Justice reveal a relationship with the convicted sex offender that extends far beyond the association she publicly described as a terrible, terrible error of judgment. In those emails, she called Epstein a legend. She called him the brother I have always wished for. She asked him for bankruptcy advice while he was in prison. She suggested in writing that he should marry her. According to royal biographer Andrew the relationship began earlier than previously known, continued after she claimed publicly to have ended it in 2011, and involved financial transfers amounting to approximately £2 million. Loney also alleges that Ferguson provided Epstein with access to prominent figures from the royal family and beyond. She has not been arrested. She has not been charged. But sources close to the situation report that she is deeply afraid of what comes next, and that this fear is now governing her every movement. She has not been seen in public since December 23, 2025, when she attended her granddaughter's christening at St. James's Palace. Since then, she has moved through a succession of locations: the United Arab Emirates, wellness retreats in Northern Ireland, a luxury spa in Donegal, and the homes of wealthy private contacts across Europe. She rotates between 3 mobile phones. She has told those around her she will never return to the United States. One source told a national publication, "This is not a holiday. It is survival." She is not, by any clinical definition, hiding. She is operating, and she is doing so, sources allege, in coordination with Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the one person whose legal exposure mirrors her own, whose knowledge of the institution's internal mechanics matches hers precisely, and whose interest in controlling the emerging narrative is at least as urgent. The palace's concern is not primarily romantic. It is operational. 2 individuals are under investigation with detailed knowledge of the monarchy's private conduct over 3 decades, and they are communicating through back channels on Crown property. The institution cannot monitor what it cannot see, and what it cannot see, it cannot contain. The response has been swift and, by palace standards, severe. According to reports, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has now been formally banned from allowing unvetted guests onto the Wood Farm property. Every visitor must receive prior palace clearance. Movement off the estate requires a pre-approved itinerary. Riding is not permitted, and use of the estate's training facilities is banned. The autonomy that once accompanied his position, the access, the deference, the institutional latitude, has been replaced by a protocol document. He is, in all but legal terminology, a supervised resident on his own family's land. William is now reportedly pushing for a resolution that goes further. According to those in the inner circle, the conversation inside the palace has moved past property disputes. It has moved past visitor restrictions. The current discussion, according to sources, concerns whether Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Sarah Ferguson should be relocated out of the country entirely, removed from the daily orbit of the institution, placed beyond the reach of the cameras, and, critically, placed beyond the reach of each other. The fear driving this proposal is not that they will speak to the press. It is that if backed into a corner, one of them will speak to prosecutors. That calculation is the crux of the current standoff. Exile severs control. proximity enables it. The palace is caught between two outcomes it cannot afford. What is already clear is that the House of York, as it existed for the past 3 decades, is no longer a functioning entity. The titles are gone. The residence is gone. The institutional relationships have been severed. What remains is 2 individuals, bound by shared history and shared legal exposure, passing each other notes through removal vans and car footwells at the edge of a Norfolk estate. They are not fighting to return to what they were. The evidence suggests they are fighting simply to remain coherent, to maintain a version of events that protects them both, for as long as the investigations remain open and the files remain unsealed. Whether that pact holds is the only question that now matters to the institution. And based on everything that has emerged in the past 4 months, there is no particular reason to believe it will. Share your view below, and if you found this account of the ongoing collapse of the House of York useful, subscribe for further updates as the investigation develops.